What is going on, legends? Ryan Magic here, and in this video I'm going to share the literal 10 exact steps that you need to take to build your business to $1 million from scratch, even if you're a complete newbie. Now, if you're new to this channel, make sure you click the subscribe button so you have that constant reminder to keep leveling up with new videos coming out regularly, and it'd be an honor to have you on the channel. Let's get into this video. Before we get into the actual specific steps, I want to make it very clear that there is no set way. If you're a beast and you're going about your business and you're hungry for success, you're gonna make it. Even if you mess up, fail, go all over the place. I know over $100 million entrepreneurs that I'm friends with and associated with, and they all have gone through the craziest journeys. But these things are gonna make it really easy because I've infused strategy and mindset. And I'm telling you for a fact, the mindset is the thing that clicks. I was doing the same strategy for a long time. As soon as I got my mindset into gear, boom, $1 million in 10 months. So we're gonna go through both strategy and mindset. The first point here is to experiment to find your industry. So this is essentially like going into Chanel and trying on clothes. You know, you wanna see what fits. And the best way to do this is go in, talk to people, research, have a little try around. Say, you know what? I'm starting a business, dog grooming, right? And you go, how does that feel, right? How does that feel? And it's very, very important with this step to understand that you can monetize so many different businesses. A misconception that I see so many entrepreneurs have starting out that I also had at the start is I was looking for what's gonna work, right? And we're gonna talk about the strategy behind that. You don't have to worry about that. There's so many different things that can work. It's not about trying to find what's gonna work. It's about trying to find something that you're gonna have enough passion in, joy with, that you keep going through the crap that's gonna come up for you. And this is what this is about. It's about finding your industry, your area that excites you, okay? That's damn important. Don't just shove that down back or whatever, I'll just find anything. No. You gotta find something that excites you. Could be sport, could be getting into health and fitness, it could be reading, it could be coaching and personal development like me. It could be technology and you get excited about strategy. But just get an idea of like, what is it that you actually enjoy doing? And then we can find the actual model and whatnot as we go through these steps. But this is an important start point, very important. And I've got friends that are wildly successful doing things that they love and friends that are wildly successful doing things that they don't enjoy. And the ones that don't enjoy it, they're constantly second guessing whether they made the right move. And I'm talking some people that do over 9 figures, $150 million a year. They're just like, did I make a mistake? Is this really what I should be doing? What else could I do with my life? But if you get the passion part entwined into what you're doing, you win. You got both. You got the passion and the profitability. So this is important. The second one is hiring a technical mentor. And I've just got a sick hack for you right now. And I'm also in the description, I've linked a video that shows the difference between a mentor, a consultant, and a coach. All right. But I want you to hire a technical mentor. And what I mean by that is an entrepreneur that has been where you're looking to go. Now that can either be someone that's a premium hire, or you can do this hack that I share in the video that I linked in the description, but I'm gonna give you the summary now. You can use LinkedIn to reach out to really successful entrepreneurs to get a feeler for what it's like to run that sort of business. And that's super helpful in the early days. So I reached out to a guy called Dan Gold, who was a person that founded a business called MumGo, which was like a deal site. You know those deal sites like Catch of the Day, Scoop-On, Groupon? I reached out to him, connected, went and had coffee with him, and I was looking at creating a fitness and health deal site at one point in the early days. And I chatted to him about it. And then after that chat, understanding what was really involved, I ditched the idea, went on to something else because it wasn't when I heard what it was actually like, I was like, don't want to do that. And that was helpful. I got on path after that. But what you can do is you don't understand how many people would be willing to help if you ask for it. So go check out the link, open it in a new tab in the description so you can understand how to find a mentor and consultants and coaches, but you understand this more. But once you know what you want to do, have little experimental chats, but also once you know what you want to do, having someone in that space that knows it to guide you on the journey it's unsubstitutable. You can't find something more valuable than that, because you're going to go and try things, especially with what I'm going to teach you here. You're going to try things and you're going to suck. You are going to suck. I sucked when I started my business because we don't know what we don't know. You don't know what the journey is going to be like until you're in there. But other people that have been in there can share their wisdom and shortcut your time. So this is a very, very important aspect. All right, let's get to strategy. The third point, nail the product. Hashtag demand. What I want you guys to understand is that businesses work based on there being a demand for the products or the services in that business. All right? We can look as young, naive entrepreneurs and just think about business and just be like, I've got this idea. How do I get it to work? When you do economics and understand like microeconomics, macroeconomics, you understand what makes a business work is that people buy the product. Why do people buy the product? Because they want it. So when you see weird entrepreneurs, and I used to play golf and be a member at a club that had a lot of kind of business owners that were at this club. And I'd play with people that had 300 staff in a steel fabrication business. I was like, what the fuck is this? Or like a glue factory. I'm like, how the hell do these people get into this? And why are they so successful? They're multi-millionaires doing the randomest crap. And I'm just like, what is going on here? But the reason they're so successful is because people need steel fabricated. People need glue. People need plastic that goes on the bottom of certain tables. People need these random services like dog grooming. So a thing that will determine whether your business is profitable or not in the way that I deem profitability, because if you start a business that's not profitable, you could spend years doing it, never break through. But a lot of people, there's this misconception where elite entrepreneurs like Mark Zuckerberg preach advice around how you should start your business. And they talk from their own experience, and they go, you've got to find a gap in the market, solve a problem that's never been solved before. Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Cuban, you got these big entrepreneurial just giants that talk about solving a global problem. And what that leads to is entrepreneurs are then always looking for a gap to do something that's never been done before. Most of what people try that's never been done before hasn't been done or doesn't exist in the market because people don't want it. This is a really, really important thing to understand. There's no demand for it. So if you're putting everything into a business, you're leaving your uni degree, or you're quitting your job, or you're just going after business as your journey, your route, and you're not chasing after something that has demand, I'm saying competition is good. So let's say you love health and fitness and you want to become a personal trainer and you're like, there are millions of PTs out there. Yeah, there are. The reason why is because there's fucking demand for PTs. That's a good thing. That means that people want it. That means that if you jump in there, you're just going to nail this next point and you can separate yourself super simply and have a very profitable business generating a lot of revenue very quickly. Because most entrepreneurs aren't good business owners. Most entrepreneurs aren't good operators. So understanding that you need to find something that has demand. You need to go after something that, unless you want to try to take on the world, get $3 million, $5 million of investment and do an app for a new concept that's never been done before. I've got a friend that's done this and he's been trying to exit. He's done it for 10 years. He's got a SaaS product that's in the data space. He's been trying to break through for many, many years, and he constantly gets investment. He hasn't pulled a cent out. He's been working hard for 10 years. He's succeeded at a high level. Most people don't succeed with what he's done, but the business might flop any day. He might exit for 50 mil, 10-year journey. If you go into a business that's got demand, you could be making 100K, 200K, 500K, $1 million in a year, 2 years, 3 years. Very, very simply, just by doing basic business strategy, okay? Basic, you market and you sell. Market and you sell, and then you have good delivery. That's it. That's all that's required. So if you've got solid demand, and like, again, I know over 100 million, multi-million dollar entrepreneurs, most of them just have businesses where there's a demand for what they do. They might have a restaurant, or they might have like a series of cafes, or they might rent out some certain equipment. Just things where there's demand for it. And it can be joy. Like you could be selling something you love. You could be selling really cool furniture. You're into furniture, multi-million dollar business. So demand, nail the product. The other thing that I want to mention on this, which is I'm going to keep mentioning it again here, is you want to make sure that you nail the product. This is about getting the business model something that's profitable. And that's where having a technical mentor or someone that's in the industry that understands how the market works will allow you to understand how to keep your margins high, how to structure things properly. Let's say you go and you create a digital agency and you're like, okay, it makes sense that if it only costs me this much to make a website and I sell it for this much, that sounds like a winning deal. But you might not take into consideration the fallout or the job consistency from people that are making the websites from overseas, or maybe you've miscalculated the cost of building a website with someone locally. You've got to think about these things, and the technical mentor will help massively with you nailing what the product is, doing it in a space where there's demand. This is huge, huge, huge. Could be just selling websites. You're like, there are 1 million pieces of software that can help people build websites. And there are 1 million digital agencies because there's so much demand for SMEs, small, medium enterprises looking for digital solutions such as, hey, can you help me do my social media? Hey, can you help me with my marketing, etc. There's a lot of competition, but there's a lot of demand, which means you slide on in there, you're going to crush it if you don't suck. And you're probably not going to, because most people do. And then you can it's very easy to differentiate. You know, when I was running a digital agency, which I built very quickly to a multi-six-figure digital agency, everyone that would come into me, I'd close pretty much 100% of people, because everyone else that the prospects were talking to, other digital agencies, other website builders, were terrible. They didn't have strategy. They didn't think about how to make it better or different, which takes us perfectly to point number 4. Pot it. Point of differentiation. How are you going to make your thing different? And you don't have to make it way better. You just need to have an edge. So the way that you can figure out your point of differentiation, there's 2 points. It would have been solid if I mentioned this here, so I will. You need to take in your niche or your target market into consideration. And you also need to take your personality into consideration. I'll explain that. So your point of differentiation, let's say you're a hiring company, or let's say you're a tradie. I actually know a tradie that dominates as an electrician, and his personality is just like, he sings, he dances, he's expressive. And so he's got like 100,000 followers on Instagram, because when he's going into people's homes, he's wearing like these cool sock things that go over the boots that don't dirty people's homes. And he'll just slide into the room singing at the top of his voice in someone's house. And then he'll post that online, and people are like, he's the charismatic electrical company. And they got multiple electricians and whatnot. It's so cool. That's like a point of differentiation that makes it's like fun, because a lot of tradies are like, yeah, mate, you're going to go fuck that bitch, yeah, beer bong in the weekend, yeah, you receivers. It's like that sort of shit. But what about actually having someone that's like fun and chirpy and charismatic that can get along with the average person? Personality can be a great point of differentiation. It's not always in the way that you show up, but you might have, let's say, a furniture store. You might have a real solid interest for high end. Or you might like to go more op shop route, where it's like retro style vintage stuff. But you can literally choose the style and the way in which you do things. We've even got the videographer behind the camera right now, James, who loves really beautiful, loving, cinematic style stuff. Like, there's a lot of depth behind what he does. Other people are more professional videographers that are more clean, cut edge. It's different. It's a point of differentiation. People will choose you based on what your point of differentiation is. But it's also worth understanding who you want to work with. And if you can marry the thing that excites you to be different with what excites the target market to be different with, and cross them together, that's a beautiful, beautiful blend to have a point of differentiation. So with me, when I did website design, the point of differentiation was always that I'm actually going to strategize how you're going to get customers for your business. I didn't care about and what I stood for was like, yeah, I stand for you actually growing your business. What I stood against was, I don't give a crap about, the website doesn't mean anything. I was honest about that. Like, a website, brochure, no one's going to come into your business. So I was really strategizing to help them get clients. That was the point of differentiation. When I ran a coaching business, which was all about how to teach life coaches how to get clients, and I grew that to a multi-million-dollar business. Our point of differentiation was we're mindset and accountability focused. So you come in, you got to do the work, and we had guarantees around results, very results based, as opposed to coming in and just learning the content. It wasn't very content focused. It was very results accountability driven. And that was the point of differentiation. And for people that were struggling and needed cash, which is most life coaches right at the start of the journey, that really appealed to them, and it resonated with me because I was excited about mindset and I was excited about accountability. It just suits my personality. And so I built a team that also resonated with those values. So anyway, you need to create your point of differentiation for whatever the product is. That's it. That's important. Once you've got your product, you know what it is. We've got a dog grooming service. We groom curly-haired dogs. Awesome. And our point of differentiation is we just make it a whole experience for the dog. We give them treats. We lather them up. We like put a shower cap on their head when they're getting the grooming service, whatever it is. Then you got to sell with your strengths. So sales is broke up into sales and marketing. Marketing first to get prospects, and then sales to actually close them, get them over the line. So when I say sell with your strengths, there's two big keys to this. The strengths component and the during component. Okay, so I'll explain what these mean in a sec. But it's very, very important to understand the only way a business grows, and especially because $1 million in this space with you guys and most people that are curious about entrepreneurship, interested in it. $1 million is one of those things that everyone thinks is just, oh my gosh, $1 million, millionaire. It's just got a lot of charge to it. It's like get rich quickie. It's like, it's actually like most businesses get to $1 million. Like most businesses that exist would be doing over $1 million. It's very normal to have a business doing over $1 million when it's an established business. It's not abnormal. This is not gimmicky. Like you'll get to $1 million 100% if you just become an entrepreneur and grow a business. Every business grows past $1 million that's established over a long period of time, unless it's a sole trader or a contractor. $1 million is very normal. So what I'm talking about here, it's legit. I was in an organization with over 12,000 members, and the entry point was minimum $1 million US, $1.4 million. 12,000 people doing over $1.4, $1.5 million a year, Australian dollars, $1 million a year US. Very normal, okay? It's not abnormal. But the only way when you're going from 0 to $1 million, the thing that tips you over, yeah, you got to have a good product that's got demand with a point of differentiation. Sweet, that's basic. You get that sorted. The whole rest of it is marketing and sales to get to $1 million. Once you go after that, you get scale problems. It's around systems, it's around people and processes, operations, the back end, boring stuff. Trust me, it was a big wake-up call for me because I was pumped at the marketing and sales, and I scaled quickly to $2 million in my business, and then I was like, why can't I keep scaling? And it was the back end stuff that was missing. But to get to $1 million, $2 million, it's all marketing and sales. But marketing and sales can be approached so differently. You can have a electrical company, you can be an electrician, and you can get your customers by approaching strata management, which essentially is management of entire buildings, apartment buildings, and you can approach a bunch of the owners of that and set up joint venture partnerships where you're the recommended electrician for that apartment building or that set of properties or that real estate agency. Hey, we recommend that you go with this electrician. You get one deal with a person that's the one that's determining who gets, like a real estate agent, there's a bunch of people that own properties, and then the property owner comes to the agent and says, who do you think I should use for electrical repairs? We know a good electrician. We use him for most of our properties. You know, his business is called Fast Electrical. You know, you get that deal, you get referred business all day. How is that deal created? By people-person skills. By actually going and approaching a bunch of people. Hey, can we set up a meeting? I'd love to get to know you. You buy them some stuff. It's, you know, subtle bribery. You get that JV set up. That's a people-person skill. But on the same token, same business, electrical company, you can crush it with SEO in your local area. You can set up your you could just have the top ranked search for electricians in these 10 suburbs and just get business coming out of your ears. One's for someone whose strength is more introspective, technical. I want a detail-focused person. And the other one's salesperson, talk, socialize, get out there, hustle and bustle. Both can crush it. Both can crush it. So you need to sell with your strengths. You need to get a marketing and a sales system that works. And how do you do that? You experiment with everything possible. This is, again, you go to your technical mentor. Your technical mentor is probably only going to have marketing working to their strengths as well. So you got to see whether you're the same personality type and ask him, what are some of your competitors' technical mentor do in this space differently to you? If you think you're very different to the mentor, that's okay. Get ideas and then you experiment. Try Facebook ads, try YouTube ads, try content creation, try setting up joint venture partnerships, try referral systems, try affiliates. Try everything, right? Try everything. Try literally flyer drops. Everything is valid. You just got to test it. But the point here, when I say during, this is a big point. I promise you, if you do this, this $1 million business thing is going to happen damn quickly for me when I transition to this. During means 9 to 5 is marketing and sales. So you're working in your 9 to 5 in your business, the whole fucking day is marketing and selling. The whole goddamn day. Deliver simply, I'm going to talk about what that means in a second, but the delivery, the product, after hours. You do that after hours. It's nowhere near as important as the marketing and sales for driving the growth of the business. You got to spend your time on marketing and sales. And if you're spending a lot of time on marketing and sales, for me, what that looked like, the way that I got to $1 million in 10 months, seminars every week. I was reaching out to people manually, adding them as friends on Facebook, shooting them messages, or setting up joint venture partnerships that had a joint venture partnership. It's when you find someone that has the same target market, when you understand your point of difference, the niche, same niche, but non-competing service. So I went to a person that had a big Facebook group that had a bunch of life coaches in it, and I connected, helped him out, grew a good relationship, and then he ended up letting me do content to that group. I got over $1 million worth of business from that. That's a joint venture partnership, right? Literally, I had over 100 clients come through that joint venture partnership, okay? That's something I set up during the day. I was doing that. I was reaching out to people, running seminars. I was launching Facebook ads, trying Instagram ads, trying everything, every single thing. But 9 to 5 was all, and sales sessions, and speaking to people, closing deals, all day, every day. And then I worked on the content creation for my coaching course after hours, sometimes till 2, 3 a.m., which is not sustainable, but it's important to do in the short term, okay? This is if you're approaching to $1 million. If right now you're thinking, I'm in a job, how the hell am I meant to do this? You're just not going to get to $1 million yet. You just got to get to the point where you can transition from your job, which could be a big leap of faith, or transition there slowly. And I'll probably do a video on that as well. And there might be a video in the description right now linking to how to approach getting into business if you're in a job full time. But yeah, this is for, hey, I'm trying to build $1 million business. You can't part-time build $1 million business. It's got to be a full-time gig, right? So during the day, marketing and sales, leveraging your strengths so you can keep it up because you're going with what's good for you, what resonates with you, what aligns with who you are. Hustle and bustle. It's going to be nerve-wracking either way because you're nervous of failure. And that's where some of these mindset things, which will determine the success, because it did for me. Without these mindset things I'm going to cover in a sec, I was getting no results. I was struggling hard in business. When I got these right, crushed it, because character is so much more important than strategy when it comes to business. Just get a mentor, do what they say. Will you do it? Probably not. And that's why people don't make it in business. So do it. 9 to 5 is the strengths. Marketing and selling with your strengths. Let's go to 6. Deliver simple. After hours, you get that point now. Deliver is the delivering of the service or the creating of the product, whatever the business type is. Now, when it comes to delivering, whatever your system is, to scale it to $1 million, when you're focusing on marketing and sales, you're getting heaps of business come through. The biggest liability is to enable that growth to $1 million. You create the growth with the sell. The delivery is enabling the growth. It's actually fulfilling on what you've sold someone into or on what products are going through. And to be able to allow this part to be done seamlessly, just believe me on this. Believe me on this, please. I've had enough experience. I've failed enough times to know how important this is. And I've learned it from so many different business leaders and mentors and friends that run massive businesses. The more simple, like when you're going 0 to $1 million, you need a simple delivery suite, preferably one product. So when I run a digital agency, I had apps, I had big web systems, I had websites, e-commerce websites, I had so much stuff, and it absolutely mangled my ability to scale. Because then every project needed so much human resource power, so much time for project managers, which was me at the start, to come in and fix problems in these niched, nuanced ways of building these websites. New problems come up in e-commerce, things that don't come up in landing pages, which don't come up in brochure websites, which don't come up in apps, which don't come up in big web systems. But I tried to get it all because I was like, oh, this person wants this, bring them in. You know, just take what I can get. But then I'm always putting all my time into trying to deliver, not actually having something that I can do really well. Because the reason that people do that is because they're not putting any effort into marketing and sales. If you've got a marketing and sales system, because you're constantly trying new things and you can scale, our Facebook ad's working, sweet. Turn the budget from 20 bucks a day to $2,000 a day. Let's take out the amount of business we're getting from 100K a year to $1.5 million a year. That can happen with one marketing campaign. But you're not going to be able to deliver that and do that if you've got heaps of different products, because you can't systemize the delivery and make really clear standards of how it needs to get delivered with a couple of staff members you'll probably need to bring on to get the delivery to be done well, okay? If you keep it simple and you know your target market, you've got your point of differentiation that works with certain people, you can create a system very easily. But when you make that too complex with your delivery method, it becomes near impossible to systemize the whole thing. By the time you write processes for everything, you then got to manage everyone and give them feedback. It's not just, oh sweet, I've got Trello or Asana or a task management software and I've put in all the steps. It's not as easy as that, because then you need to get people to follow it. And to get people to follow it, you need to manage them. You need to give them feedback. You need to improve things. And to do that across 20 different products or services, it's near impossible. You've got to keep it simple and scale the simple. It makes it infinitely easier. So deliver simply after hours. That's very important. All right, time for you to concentrate on what matters here. This is called the foggy staircase. This analogy broke me through to $1 million. This was the most important thing for me. All these last four, what counts? These are mindset things. So this is how I want you thinking of your business, like a staircase. I want you imagining right now, wherever you are in the world, whatever house you're in, you go to the street and you just look in the middle of the road and there's a staircase. One of those invisible staircases that don't have any support for some reason, just going up straight into the sky. It just keeps going and going and going through the clouds into space. That is a symbol of your success in business. The more stairs you go up, every 20 steps, there's a flag planted in that staircase and it's waving a financial milestone. So 20 steps up, you see this thing outside right now, you're imagining it. 20 steps, financial milestone, another 20 steps, so 40 steps up, another financial milestone. Now, the way that you walk up these steps is by taking revenue generating actions. I was talking about experimenting here, sell with strengths, market and sell 9 to 5. Every new campaign you launch, I launch a Facebook ad campaign or a funnel, or I try an Instagram marketing strategy, I'm using influencer marketing, whatever it is, every time you do one of those, one step up. Now, the interesting thing here is I said every 20 steps is a financial milestone. The reason that most entrepreneurs fail from a psychological perspective is because they don't take action. But the reason they don't take action is because, let's say you start this business, you go through all these other steps, you've got your business there, and then you go to take action. And your action is to do a seminar. And then no one shows up. What happens to your mindset? You feel crippled, you feel crap. You probably won't even run the seminar because you're scared of it happening, but then you do it and you have 3 people show up. I've had this happen to me. 3 people show up out of a 40 person, I've got 40 chairs out, there's 3 people there. How embarrassing is that? And so what happens is, usually when people, they're not going up steps because they're so attached and put so much weight and pressure on every individual revenue generating step to work, that they barely launch anything. They barely try new strategies out. And so even though their first financial milestone is going to happen 20 steps up, this is what most newbie entrepreneurs look like. This is what they're doing. They're standing here and then they're just like reading articles all day or like talking to their friends. This is their life. It's got the step. They got their foot hovering above the step. They're not actually It says jog the foggy staircase. Don't sprint it, jog it. Slow and steady. You're still moving forward, you're going, and you don't stop going. And that means launch one strategy, launch another strategy, launch another strategy. The cool thing about the foggy staircase, and I'll get to the fog in a minute, is that I want you to imagine it like a video game. So you got your metaphor right now, your visual of the staircase going into the clouds, but it's also like a video game where there's bubbles above every step. There might be a red negative bubble that it represents, hey, I tried the Facebook ad and it failed. Red bubble on step one. Step two, I tried to set up a strata management deal with a real estate company and it worked. Cool, green plus. Next step, failure. Next step, failure. Red, 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 green, 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 red, green. I'm here to tell you right now, from working with over 1,000 small business owners, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whether you have 5 greens, 2 greens, red, green, green, red. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the flags. The flags are when you get your next financial milestone. So the problem is that if we dissect a single step, most people, when they take action, they think, will it get results or not? All you need to be thinking, and this is just like the biggest aha moment that I ever had in business that actually allowed me to go from $0 to $1 million when I started to approach my business this way. Every step equals progress. Step, progress. Completely detached from whether every initiative that you try works or not. If it works, cool, green, but I don't care about whether there's a green bubble. I just care about getting to that next flag. And if you're going hard, launch, try, let's try selling our products through eBay. Let's try selling them from Gumtree. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Let's try Craigslist. It's just step, 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 step. Yes, got to the next 20th step. Sweet. Step, step, step. Got to the 40th. Sweet. That is how you need to approach it. And I swear on my life, if you do this with a profitable, only if you've got a profitable product that's got demand, you will easily get to $1 million quickly. But most people maybe they do one step every 3 months. Should I do Facebook? Should I do YouTube? Should I start a YouTube channel? You just gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move. And if you get it, like I did 20 steps, probably in my first 3 weeks. And in my first 3 weeks, I made 10K plus 8, 2K, 16, $26,000 in my first 3 weeks in my business where I got my big breakthrough after I knew this analogy. I created it for myself because I needed it because I was so nervous of micro failure that I kept creating macro failures. I was so nervous of failing on one task that my business was never breaking through. Whereas if you can fail on the micro things and you're happy with red bubbles on your steps to success, guaranteed to get to the top. Guaranteed to keep, not to get to the top because there is no top, you can just go as big as you want, but guaranteed to get to the next flag. And that's what you're concentrating on, flags, not steps. Now the fogginess on the staircase is important as well. Most of us, because we're so nervous when we start a business, is it gonna work? We try to predict and control and have clarity on everything before we move. I want you to write this down. Action precedes clarity. You take action to get clear. You don't get clear before you take action. And the reason why is because your staircase that you're looking at outside with these bubbles and the flags, you can see the flags, but there's fog that's just all around this staircase. I want you to imagine it right now. There's like this cloud, like it's a cartoon movie or a video game. There's like clouds, dense fog around the staircase. And the only steps that you can, maybe you can see more, but usually just the next step or the next 3 steps. You can't see 20 steps up. You can just see the corner of the flag. You don't even know what the next financial milestone is. Could be, okay, first flag is $2,000 a week. Then on the 40 steps up, it's $6,000 a week. You don't know what they are. You can't even see them. You can just see the flags rippling through the fog. You can't see 6 steps up. You can't control the whole journey. You can just move for what you need to know, what you can do next. You just got to go, where can I go next? And if you're doing that, you're set. So you've got to jog it. You just got to keep moving up. Desensitize yourself to the attachment on results with that next marketing campaign, that next sales call. It doesn't matter. All you need to do is keep going up. Next flag, next flag. Just watch, try it. Like you're definitely going to get here. Again, this is not some get rich quick. This is actually building $1 million business. Everyone that I've ever known to get there does it like this. Just trust me. The next one is commit to 5 years of input. That's 5 years of moving, 5 years of steps. Right? Now, ultimately, you might end that early. You might end that early, but be prepared to do it. You might actually crush your goal. Because what I did, I went, I'm going to run a seminar a week until I break through. My dream was being a successful coach. I thought it was such a lofty goal when I started. I didn't, like right now, I don't know if it's just because I'm more in the space or whatnot, but I know thousands of coaches and I've coached over 1,000 life coaches myself. But when I started, I just knew Tony Robbins. And I was like, man, if I want to go and make it at that level, it's going to be such a lofty ordeal. I'm probably like, it's going to be so hard to make it. And so I was like, but if I do a seminar every single week for the next 3 to 5 years, I'm going to get good. Even if I suck crap, even if no one comes for the first 10 that I do, 10 weeks in a row, 10 seminars, and I suck, after I get 3 years worth of seminars, I'm going to be good. So I gave myself permission to suck crap for a period of time and then, cool, let's see where I'm in 3 to 5 years. I'm prepared to suck for a period of time to actualize my dream. And that's why finding the industry, passion, having passion behind it is important. Because for me, I was just absolutely pumped to be a coach. I was willing to, but here's the thing. I told you I made $26,000 in the first 3 weeks. I thought, I hired a $50,000 mentor, which is going to come down to my point down here. And I thought, if I just make $50,000 can pay the mentor in the first year, then I don't rehire the mentor for another year. I've got a $50K a year business doing what I love. And I was prepared for that to happen. I knew I'd pay the mentor because we always do what we have to. When things are a must, we somehow find a way. There's not many people starving to death in the Western world. Why? Because we always do what we got to do. And so bottom line is, if you commit to a long period of time and you don't put pressure, this is like, cool, I'm willing to go 200 steps up the foggy staircase, but I'm not going away. I'm going to keep showing up and showing up for an extended period of time. Then if things are just bombing, then maybe I quit that business and find the other one. But really making a commitment, if you want to be an entrepreneur, making a commitment for life is the easiest insurance policy that you can take out on yourself. Because it's just a skill set. You learn how to sell, you learn how to market, you learn how to, like, I know this knowledge. This is just, I just whipped it out of my ass. I know so much about business. Like, I'm a business freak. I can make a business work in any industry. Why? Because I've just been in business for 10 plus years, learning, hiring mentors, reading articles, trying things. I'm really, really good. I have no worries at all about money for the rest of my life. Even if I lost everything, I wouldn't care because I know how to build a business. It's very simple. And so once you know it, you know it. And so if you commit to life to be an entrepreneur, you're going to get better. And this is why the demand part and having profitable businesses is solid. If I needed money, I'm not going to try to launch an app that's going to change the way that the world views air quality. If I need to make money, I'm going to launch a dog grooming business or start a digital agency or something that's got a demand where people want it, or be a personal trainer, get clients quickly, make money quickly, sell up fronts, because there's demand. There's no like trying to test the market. You don't have to test the market when there's demand for something, okay? You can get feedback on how to improve your product, but you don't have to test the market to see if there's like dip your toe in, is there profitability here? No, you're choosing something that's profitable off the bat. So commit to 5 years of input. Just keep going. I'm gonna keep launching marketing campaigns for 5 years. Game changer. 9, win loop. Believe, act, achieve. You will either spiral up or spiral down in terms of your success as an entrepreneur. And I want you to think of and this is just a life principle, but I want you to think of this. 2 comparisons. Super overweight dude. Tried going on diets 20 times. Failed every time. Gone back, put on the weight again. His friend says, hey, I've got this new initiative I've been trying. I've lost a bunch of weight. You should try it. He's like, nah, man, doesn't work. I'm big boned. It's like, it's not in my biology to lose weight. Okay. Man, hearing what you're saying, but I really think you should try it. It's going to work. And he's like, nah, not going to do it. And his friend just keeps harping on, finally convinces him to give this new approach to this new fitness and health and nutrition philosophy. He goes in, but in his head, his belief is, I can't lose weight. Because his belief is so low, how much action does he take? How committed is he? How much is he showing up? What intensity is he showing up with? He's going to relapse so quickly. He's barely going to have a crack. His mindset is not going to work. He's going to look for evidence of that left, right, and center. As soon as he sees it's been 2 weeks, haven't lost the weight. Yep, knew it. Because his belief is low, his action is low. Because his action is low, his results are low, and that reinforces, I knew it. I knew I couldn't lose the weight. And so then what happens? I knew I couldn't lose the weight. So then does he take more or less action after that? Less. And if he takes even less action, does he get worse results? Yes. And that makes his belief even lower. And it just spirals down and down and down. Cool. That's what it looks like to spiral down. Let's look at a young, budding female entrepreneur that's got 10 mentors that are all crushing it at a similar age to her, that see huge potential in her, that say, this is the winning product. You're going to crush it in this space. She's like, oh my God, this is my dream. I'm so freaking pumped to launch this digital agency, or to start getting coaching clients, or to start getting dog grooming clients. This is it. I'm so freaking pumped. Now that chick that's got massive belief, super strong belief, what does she do from an action perspective? She goes out there, she's talking to everyone. Guys, I'm starting this business. Hey, do you know anyone that can do this? Boom, boom, boom. Massive action. Now she's taking massive action. Is she going to get some results? She's going to get something. And so when she gets massive results, so believe, act, achieve. So she believes, strong belief. She takes big action. The achievement, the results, they're going to be there. And she's going to be like, oh my gosh, this is working. Holy crap. And then because it's working, she's like, I knew this was going to happen. The mentors are like, see, I told you so. And she's like, wow, this is amazing. Does she take more or less action? More. And if she takes more action, does she get more or less results? Even more achievement, which then spirals it up. And then she goes out and takes more action, more results, more believe, act, achieve, believe, act, achieve. And she spirals up. So you just got to start, you got to remove yourself from the environment of skeptics, right? They're trying to keep you safe. They're trying to make sure that you're okay and you don't make some stupid mistake that messes up your life, because they don't understand it. I understand it. I've started over 10 businesses. I've got a ton of friends in business. Everyone that stuck it out has made it. Everyone. So heaps of people have quit and been defeated because they're like, oh, their belief was like, maybe it's not going to work. And then they get some little failures and they're like, oh, I knew it. My family was right. I should go back to my job. But I'm telling you, every single person that stuck it out has got enough solid skills and built their framework of being an entrepreneur in their mind, how it works, how to succeed in the different areas, marketing, sales, product development, operations, and finance. They've gotten good enough to make a business work. You will too, but you got to believe it. You got to surround yourself. And this is why having a technical mentor can be great. Going and networking, getting an environment of people that actually believe that it's possible, know it's possible, already have results. You know, there was a point in my first year where I paid $40,000 to be in this program where we caught up 3 times a year, but everyone in there was making $1 million a year. There were only 10 people, and there was 1 day every 3 months. I paid $40,000 to be, because they were all in the same niche as me, the coaching space, and I paid $40,000 to be in there. One day, every 4 months, so 3 times a year, $40,000. Why would I do that? Because I wanted to be around people that were already doing it. When I showed up there, I was young, I was probably 22, 23, and they're just like, dude, you're doing such incredible stuff. Like, I would look at what they're doing and the way they were running their business. There was so much encouragement, so much positivity. I saw their personalities and their success and went, whoa, that personality, that success, I've got so much energy and charisma. I'm so willing to do whatever it takes. I'm going to crush this. And because it boosted my belief massively, I took even more action. And my results just went through the roof. I built a multi-million-dollar business quickly because I had the belief. But if you're in an environment full of skeptics, why are you doing that? Stay in uni, blah, blah, blah. It's just going to sap your energy and you're going to be always second guessing whether you should do it. You need to be somewhere where you can go full into it. You need to commit for 5 years, have the profitable niche, do what you love, find the industry. These are all important factors and you will. $1 million is just a step on the journey. It's just one flag on the foggy staircase. You'll get there. 10, hire a mindset coach. I've just mentioned 3 other mindset principles. I'm a mindset coach. There are tons of amazing mindset coaches out there. I succeed in business because my mindset's strong. That's it. But you don't know what your mindset blocks are. You don't know where you're stuck and where you have limiting beliefs. I don't either. I pay a mindset coach right now $100,000 a year to point out my blind spots. Because limiting beliefs like, oh, maybe I'm now too old to succeed in this, or whatever my bullcrap that I've got going in my head is, stops me from taking action. And that blocks my results, blocks my achievement. So having a mindset coach is the most underrated most underrated thing in the entire entrepreneurial world. Those that make it have strong mindsets. They would never invest in it because they're already pretty solid. Those that have weak mindsets are obsessed with the strategy and they're trying to outsource the confidence to something outside of themselves. Does YouTube work? Is it possible to make this business model work? It's the model has to work because I don't know if I work or not. Whereas if your mindset's strong and you're like, if someone else in the world's ever done this, I can do it. Doesn't matter. If someone's done it, it's possible. I can do it then. If your mindset's like that, you go out there and you crush it. If your mindset's like, oh, I need to cling on to something else that's going to give me certainty. Ryan, tell me which business model to do. Is that definitely going to work? What if I do this strategy and it doesn't work? Who gives a shit? Foggy staircase, 20 steps up. You can have reds for the whole 20 steps and you'll still hit a financial milestone. Telling you. So it's a mindset thing. And if you hire a mindset coach, it is the best possible. I was in a $125,000 program in my first. I mentioned the 40K one to be in a good environment. I was in a $125,000 one to learn about mindset and to get my mindset strong because I know how important it is. And guess what? It breaks through. It always does. I've had over 500 mindset coaching sessions on me, and I will keep doing it till the day I die because I know it's the edge. It's the only thing that ever blocks someone from not getting somewhere. It's here. If you hire this, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what stage you're at, where you are, it is so damn important. So guys, if you've been finding this video valuable, make sure you drop a like. And your homework task off this is I want you to jump in the comments right now and I want you to say, what is the one biggest thing you learned from this whole set of principles? What stood out for you? Okay? What's the one biggest thing that you learned from this whole video? And if you want a little bonus step, that's just, I look at the comments, I'll respond. What's one action you're going to take off the back end of this? Okay? And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, click the subscribe button. Keep yourself accountable. I'm not going to stop shoving these messages in your face until you're actualizing your dreams. So click the subscribe button, drop a comment, biggest learning, bonus step, what's one action you could take from this? And I'll see you guys in the next video.